A hearing officer has been approved the 10-day suspension without pay of Jellicoe Middle School principal John Crawford in a case involving alleged sexual harassment of a female employee by a former coach and school board member. Crawford was suspended by Director of Schools Donnie Poston for neglect of duty and insubordination after he refused to take disciplinary action after a February incident in his office and failed to apologize to the employee. In a report submitted to the Board of Education at last night's meeting, Board Attorney Dale Cantrell outlined the facts involved in the incident. According to the report, Crawford was meeting with Delbert Bo Buckner, head football coach at Jellicoe Middle School, in Crawford's office on February 16th to inform Buckner that he would not be retained as coach for the upcoming season. While the meeting was underway, School Secretary Debbie Douglas entered the room to hand a written message to Crawford. As she passed Buckner, the former coach struck her on the backside with a paddle he was holding in his hand. Crawford's later recollection of the incident varied. He at one point admitted he witnessed the incident and at another time saying he did not see it. Douglas reported the incident the next morning to School System Athletic Director Johnny Bruce and Director Poston. Poston apologized to Miss Douglas and, following an investigation, instructed Crawford to send Buckner a letter barring him from school grounds and to apologize to Douglas. When Crawford failed to follow either directive, Poston suspended him without pay. In the April 5th hearing held in Kingsport with both parties represented by attorneys, hearing officer J. Michael Billingsley ruled that even though Buckner was no longer a school employee subject to insubordination, he upheld the suspension without pay. The remainder of the meeting was routine business. Read a detailed account on 1450 WLAF. You can read it right now, 1450WLAF.com, or watch the complete meeting on our web channel. Officers with Campbell County Sheriff's Department made an arrest of a trio working together. Gibson, Ivy, and Ivy got nabbed while working together. No, Gibson, Ivy, and Ivy is not a law firm, but is a partnership that's been accused of stealing around the county. The trio of men is charged with multiple counts of theft by officers of the Campbell County Sheriff's Department. Ivy is 35-year-old Vernon Lee Ivy of 249 Mountain Drive and 48-year-old Ernest Ivy of 145 Frontier Road, both of La Follette. The two Ivies are charged with stealing William Workman's 1990 pickup truck from Workman's Cliffside home in La Follette. Both Ivies were then caught on tape at NET Recycling in Speedwell selling Workman's truck for scrap. Gibson is 26-year-old Sherman Gibson of 272 Sagefield Drive in La Follette. Gibson is accused of stealing more than $3,000 worth of property from James Madison on Old Highway 63 in Caravel. Gibson told authorities that he sold Madison's items to Jacksboro Metal. Gibson and Vernon Lee Ivy are also charged with stealing property from Jimmy Ivy's Demery Road home. Gibson and Vernon Lee Ivy have a combined 30 bookings. That's 15 each. The pair remains in the county jail, and another arrest was made after an alert detective noticed Jeffrey Allen Dopel in the audience at General Sessions Court last week. The detective knew Dopel was wanted in Kentucky on an outstanding warrant. The 39-year-old Dopel of 706 Woolridge Lane in Jellicoe was taken into custody and sent on to Kentucky. Another arrest was made when a boyfriend is charged with beating up his girlfriend in the parking lot of the church. Ashley Bolin of Jellicoe told police that her boyfriend, 24-year-old Josh Bolin of Dale Lane in Jellicoe, punched her in the face several times. Police reports are that the female has visible injuries and that the altercation happened at the Woolridge Church. Then, neighbors helped send each other to jail. Sheriff's deputies called to a dispute between neighbors in the Shady Cove area of Caravel discovered that both men had active warrants. Keith Pittman, 23 years old, of 1795 Shady Cove Road, had an active warrant, while 23-year-old Dustin Bolton of 2003 Shady Cove Road had an active Capus bench warrant. Both have since been released from jail. This Saturday is U.S. Postal Service Stamp Out Hunger Day. On May the 12th, you can place non-perishable food items in a bag and hang it from your mailbox. The postal workers will be picking up the donated food that day. The food will be distributed to food banks to feed the hungry. And the Pink Pals, a breast cancer support group of Campbell County, will be meeting this Thursday night at 7 o'clock at the First Baptist Church in La Follette. The group meets the second Thursday of each month. For more information, call 423-494-7080. And that's our news for today. Stay tuned. We'll be back with the Sheriff's Department report after this. And taking a look at the press release from the Campbell County Sheriff's Department, 11 people have been booked into the jail in the past 24 hours. Jesse James Ballard, 28, of Crestview Lane in Jacksboro, for violation of probation, evading arrest, and resisting arrest. 30-year-old Mark Andrew Budachova of East 4th Street, La Follette, for aggravated assault by domestic violence. Christopher J. Green, 31, of East Forest Street, La Follette, on a capious bench warrant. 24-year-old Shauna Noel Hughes of Oneida for violation of probation. 38-year-old Donna Jean McGee of North 8th Street, La Follette, for driving while revoked. Kevin Lynn Norman, 31, of Thelma Circle in Jacksboro, for violation of probation and attachment for child support and public intoxication. Jonathan Raymond Peebley, 19, of Crown Point in Jacksboro, for domestic violence by assault. 51-year-old Ricky Roden of Walden Ridge Lane in Caravel, for public intoxication. Casimiro Salas, age 69, of Powder Springs, Georgia, for failure to notify of an accident and leaving the scene of an accident. Brandon Wade Wallace, 18, of Stonegate Drive, La Follette, on a capious bench warrant. And last today, 60-year-old Harold Ray Wallace of East Beach Street, La Follette, on a capious and failure to appear. And we thank you for joining us for our midweek edition of the news. Stay tuned. We got more coming your way.
We sing happy birthday to you, and may all your dreams come true.
Happy, happy birthday.
Oh,
This is your birthday song.
Celebration all night long.
May all you
Good Wednesday evening, everybody. Welcome into your midweek edition of Birthdays and Anniversaries, brought to you by East Side Pizza and Deli over there in the Food Line Shopping Center, as well as WLAF. Celebrating a birthday today, Tim Johnson starting off our list today. Bo Ferris also celebrates a birthday. Linda Gibson, Roger Hunley celebrating a birthday. Robert Lancaster Sr., 62 years old. Got a belated birthday here from yesterday. Bonnie McCullough celebrating a birthday. Ed Johnson celebrating 94 years young today. Peyton Stanfield turned 8 years old today. And Crystal Braden celebrating a birthday. Anniversary-wise, we've got Earl and Rose Harrison celebrating 60 years together today. Want to congratulate that couple. All of you are qualified for our upcoming drawing here in a couple days. Early Friday morning, we'll be having a drawing for 2 free dinners from Eastside Pizza and Deli. We'll be giving away 2 free dinners for the birthday side and the anniversary side. And you can get your information in here to us. If your birthday or anniversary are coming up, you qualify at a chance at winning those if we get you on the birthday list here or anniversary list. You can call 562-1450, 566-1450, or 562-3557, or email WLAF@bellsouth.net, or fax in your information to 562-5764. We'll be sure to get you on our list here, and you get you qualified there for a chance at winning those 2 free dinners. And that does it for our birthdays and anniversaries for today. Hope you all have a good night. I'll see you right back here tomorrow.